and thanks for joining us today. And we're going to talk about a common problem to our friend Oreo here, and yes, that's right, the flea. Fleas are seldom dangerous to humans, and we usually only bite when there isn't an animal host around. But fleas can be harmful to animals because they transfer tapeworms and can also cause skin problems. When fleas bite an animal's skin, you see scratching, biting, fur loss, anemia, and sometimes other more complicated veterinary issues. That's where we step in. Pest control professionals use Zoycon flea products to control and eradicate fleas in your customers' homes. Before I talk about how to do just that, you need to learn more about fleas, how they live, what they eat, and prevention and control techniques that you can pass along to your customers. Let me start out by saying that there are many species of fleas, and they all have different life cycles. But the most common flea pest in the home is Tennisophalides felis, or the common cat flea. Remember that cat fleas aren't discriminating. They like dogs and other animals as well as cats. A flea life cycle has 4 main stages. They have the egg, the larvae, the pupae, and the adults. Depending on the environment that you service, a flea can go through 4 stages in a few weeks or up to a couple months. Now let's start with the egg. Flea eggs aren't sticky like some other insects or parasites. They separate and fall off from the animal easily and can be found in the carpet, bedding, floorboards, and even soil. When a flea egg hatches, that's when the larvae is born. Larvae are white, they're tiny, and they're worm-like. Older larvae can be seen with the naked eye, but you'll need magnification to see those first instar larvae. Larvae are covered with small hairs along their body that help them move about freely in the environment. Their diet consists of organic debris, which includes the feces of adult fleas, and that's mostly dried blood. Heavy concentrations of flea larvae are found in the pet's favorite places, and that's their feeding areas and their resting areas. After a short time, the larvae spins a silken cocoon and waits. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? But not with such beautiful results. The pupae is the last stage before the flea becomes an adult. Like the butterfly, it waits for the right conditions to emerge from the cocoon. We know that temperatures and high humidity are perfect conditions for flea development. Environmental conditions like vibrations, carbon dioxide from passing animals can cause fleas to emerge from the cocoon. Now we have the adult flea. It's very flat when looking at it from the side, and it has hairs and bristles on it to keep it on the animal's body and keep it from being dislodged. Fleas have 3 pairs of legs, and the last pair are specially designed for jumping. Adult fleas can jump 100 times their body length. Adult fleas live on the animal where they dine on the animal's blood. When a flea bites, it deposits saliva that keeps the blood from clotting, which makes for easy feeding. The saliva is irritating and allergenic, which causes all the itching, scratching, and biting. The female adult flea can lay up to 50 eggs per day, or between 500 and 600 eggs over her lifetime. Now there's a problem. And that's why it's vitally important that you perform a thorough flea job, taking the time to do the job right. You should also stress the importance of the customer's role in flea control. They need to do a complete prep of their property before the treatment and remain on the lookout for fleas. Now more on that in a few minutes. Zoycon offers a broad line of products to target fleas at different times in their life cycle, and they can be used in many locations. Let's take a look. Precor 2000 Plus is a water-based, easy-to-use, low-odor aerosol. It contains an adulticide and an insect growth regulator, or IGR, called methoprene. Methoprene prevents future flea generations by stopping pre-adult flea development for up to 7 months. All you do is point and spray Precor 2000 Plus 2 to 3 feet from the surface that you want to treat. It's great for hard-to-reach spots. Precor Concentrate is an effective, long-lasting concentrate for tank mixing. The IGR methoprene is also the active ingredient here, halting future flea infestations. Petcor flea spray is formulated to use directly on the pet's fur. The natural pyrethrins in the spray immediately kill any adult fleas, and the IGR controls flea eggs for 63 days after application. It's approved for use on puppies, dogs, kittens, and cats. Leave a bottle with your customer as part of your service. Then they can apply the spray whenever it's needed. The Precor fogger is an added measure of protection for use in crowded areas like a basement or a garage. The Maverick Perimeter is an outdoor surface treatment to be used around the perimeters of buildings. It immediately knocks down a variety of insects, including fleas, ants, and mosquitoes. There is no visible residue or lingering odors, and once dried, it is not harmful and not repellent to honeybees. As you probably guessed, you'll be covering a lot of ground in and around your customer's home when doing a flea treatment. And direct contact with the surfaces where fleas live is vitally important. So, on your initial visit to the customer's home, you need to tell them in clear, understandable terms that the success of the flea treatment depends on the prep work they do before any insecticide is applied. Walk through the home with the customer and go through the pre-treatment checklist. Remove all items from the floor like toys, clothes, and pet bowls. Don't forget to check under the beds and in the closets too. Vacuum all areas of the home, especially where pets spend the majority of their time. Also vacuum baseboards, furniture, including under all cushions and pillows, and then make sure you put the vacuum bag in the outdoor trash can. Mop all tile or wood floors. Wash all pet bedding in the hottest water possible, or suggest disposing of the bedding. Bathe your pets. And finally, cover all fish tanks and unplug pumps before the treatment. Then walk outside and explain that any children's toys, pet toys, or any other materials lying in the yard need to be stored where flea products will not be applied. The grass should also be mowed shortly before the treatment is set to begin. And be sure to remind your customers that they will need to be off their property during treatment, and usually they can return after 2 hours. Wow, that seems like a lot, doesn't it? Fleas are tough, but thorough planning is the key to beating them. You have to remember and make sure that your customers know that the fleas like to hide and to travel. Also, the adult fleas that your customers can actually see only make up about 1% of their infestation. You need to control them all at whatever stage of the life cycle they're in, which is the next thing you should communicate to your customers, the flea life cycle. You don't need to go into the detail that I did before, but they do need to know what a flea can spend days or weeks in each of the 4 stages of their life. Show them a picture of the life cycle, the egg, the larvae, the pupae, and the adult. Explain that the right combination of Precor products will kill adult fleas and larvae. The adulticide wipes out the adults, and the IGR stops pre-adult fleas from turning into adults for 7 months. Here's another important part of the flea life cycle your customers need to be aware of. When the flea is in the pupa stage, it's very hard to destroy because of the protective cocoon. The adult fleas may continue to emerge for 1 to 2 weeks after the initial treatment. Not to worry though, once they're exposed to the residual adulticide, they will soon die. The customer should be vigilant about vacuuming their pet's favorite places to play, rest, sleep, and hide. The customer should vacuum 24 hours after the application and then vacuum again once every 3 to 4 days for the next 3 weeks. The vacuum suction stimulates the adult fleas to emerge from their cocoons so that they're either physically removed or come in contact with the treatment and die. Remind the homeowner to throw away the vacuum bags outside the home every time. Precor 2000 Plus is a general broadcast spray, and it's also great for hard to reach areas. But make sure you test it on a hidden spot of upholstery or furniture to make sure it won't stain the fiber. And also test on inconspicuous wood surfaces before application. If there are no stains on fiber or residue on wood surfaces, simply shake the can well, apply a uniform application holding the can 2 to 3 feet from the surface to be treated. When tank mixing Precor concentrate, be sure to read the label for both the adulticide and Precor. Once the products are mixed, apply the solution evenly over surfaces where fleas are a problem. Be careful with surfaces that can be stained with water. Don't allow the solution to puddle. To use Precor Plus fogger, find a level area in the middle of the basement or garage to place the fogger. Put newspapers under the fogger can, put your face mask on, and depress the locking actuator of the fogger, making sure the spray is directed away from your face. Then leave the room, making sure all the entry points are closed. When using Mavic Perimeter, dilute it in water and apply it to outside areas where fleas and other pests are a problem. As always, read the label because it provides directions for mixing and application. Pay special attention to shaded areas of the yard, like pet resting areas and around the doghouse. After treatment, when the customer returns home, they can apply Petcor flea spray directly on their pets. Make sure the homeowner is familiar with the Petcor label and explain how to use the product to treat their pets. That's it. The treatment's complete. Clean up your equipment, complete any paperwork, and be sure to leave a Precor brochure behind with your customer. It outlines our products and the treatments that you performed. And of course, it's always a good idea to leave a note or a business card with your customers so they can contact you directly with any questions or concerns. And be sure to lock out the house when you leave. And that wraps it up from here, right, Oreo? If you have any questions about Precor products or the application process, please contact your area's Precor representative or visit our website at Zoycon.com or call Precor customer service at 1-800-248-7763. And thanks for using Precor.
For more information, visit epestsupply.com.